Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $2.35. XRP is going through a pullback right now, but I'm expecting us to continue upward from here. People said if we drop below $2.30, we go lower. If we stay above $2.30, then we go higher. And I'm recording this video earlier than usual. Hopefully by the time this video goes live, XRP is already moving back up. And we're still following Bitcoin, which also had a pullback as well. But I'm expecting momentum for Bitcoin this week. I'm expecting momentum for XRP. I see people saying the Bitcoin dominance is going to have its next leg down. You look at the 1 week on the Bitcoin dominance and you see it's coming back up a little bit. But people are expecting it to really start to drop going into this week. But you know, let's wait and see what happens. I still know Bitcoin has one more big move up in it. And then that will signal us going into alt season. Because I got to remind you, we're not in alt season. Once we get back above 75, then alt season is here. XRP outperforms Bitcoin despite Bitcoin's strategic acquisitions. And it's true, XRP continues to outperform not only Bitcoin, but also Ethereum as well. And wait until the Bitcoin ETFs go live, or the XRP ETFs go live. I think a lot of the money's going to flow out of those Bitcoin ETFs into XRP ETFs. It's like anything. When you hold something for a long period of time, you all know this because a lot of you held XRP for a long period of time. You want the breakout moment to happen. Then the money shifts. Same thing is going to happen with Bitcoin. The only difference between Bitcoin and XRP is XRP has utility. And that's the game changer. Because these institutions are getting exposure to something that solves a real world problem. And I think that's why the demand will be a lot higher for an XRP ETF. Then there's this coming from Crypto Eddie, and I thought this was great. The value of XRP held in escrow by Ripple Labs will not be included in the corporate value until a clear valuation is determined through an IPO or other means. Take a listen to this.
Ripple Lab is held as unlisted shares. The value of XRP held in escrow by Ripple Lab will not be included in the corporate value until a clear valuation is determined through an IPO or other means. If it is included, the profit will surge and will be an extraordinary amount. So assets under management for private equity was approximately 900 billion. We would like to bring it close to 1 trillion as soon as possible for the crypto asset business. Like mentioned earlier, this is a record high in performance. Ever since Mr. Trump was inaugurated, the U.S. has been putting a lot of emphasis on the crypto asset market, which we are grateful for. The reason why we did invest into Ripple more than 10 years ago, which is now generating a huge amount of unrealized profits. If listed, the unrealized profits are going to be unlocked, and I'm sure that it will easily exceed 1 trillion yen. So this is something that may happen. I thought it was a little too early to advance into these segments, but it wasn't. There aren't as many people who understand our operations. Even our employees do not understand our entire business. So maybe general investors do not understand our business perfectly.
it's been a long time since we have invested in a company called Ripple, maybe 10 years. So what is happening to this investment? This is now generating enormous amount of profit.
That's SBI talking about the amount of XRP that they hold and their investment. They're talking about Ripple, the company, as well. But what they're looking at is this. Any XRP held by Ripple is not, it's not priced in yet until the IPO happens. Brad said the IPO is not going to happen in 2025. But I think they will definitely IPO most likely in 2026. It would make sense for Ripple to do that IPO. But if you have a lot of cash on hand, there's really no reason to focus on an IPO until maybe you spend off some of that cash through acquisitions. But I think once that IPO happens, they're going to put a valuation on XRP, and it's also going to benefit XRP holders. I've seen where a lot of people said if Ripple was to do an IPO right now, the price of XRP would surge to around $6 to $8. Now, that would be on top of the price that we're seeing now, because that was said back when XRP was still sitting around 50 cents. I think it would push it closer to the $10 range. And that would be the daily price on XRP. Then we would get the fluctuation around $10 or so. SEC Chairman Paul Atkins will deliver a keynote address on asset tokenization during a roundtable on May 12th, today. The SEC wants to end the fight against Ripple. So they're going to focus on tokenization. They're also going to talk about ETFs with BlackRock. I'll talk about that in a minute. But tokenization is a big deal because all these companies, they want to get that going already. They can't get it going without regulations in place first. Remember when Gensler was still at the SEC and he said tokenized assets can be looked at as securities? That made a lot of these tokenization ideas go away for a period of time because nobody wants to tokenize things of value and have them be registered as securities. I think they need to clear that up first. Tokenization is going to be a very big deal going throughout the rest of 2025. BlackRock confirms XRP ETF meeting. Yeah, a meeting. This does not confirm an XRP ETF meeting. It even says it right there. Options on crypto ETPs. That's what they're going to talk about. They could be talking about Ethereum ETFs. They could be talking about Bitcoin ETFs. They could be talking about any other asset. Doesn't mean they're talking about XRP. However, I do believe it would be smart for BlackRock to file for an XRP ETF. That's clearly every other institution's doing it except BlackRock. Why are they waiting? I think they're waiting for something else to happen first. And I think they're going to do it strategically at a specific time. Federal Reserve, July 14, 2025. One-day implementation plan, FedWire. SWIFT, November 22nd, 2025. All cross-border payment instructions must be in ISO format. This is also going to be a key date, July 14th. Now, what I think is going to happen is this. I think the case is going to end before July 14th. I think the U.S. is going to have stablecoin regulations in place by July 14th. Everything's going to happen leading up to that day. So here we are now in May. Over the course of the next 2 months, I'm expecting big things to happen. Let's see where it goes from here. And Donald Trump said total reset. A very good meeting today with China and Switzerland. Many things discussed, much agreed to. A total reset negotiated in a friendly but constructive manner. We want to see, for the good of both China and the US, an opening up of China to American business. Great progress made. Now that deal, once it's done and once it's announced, this market is going to break out. This is going to have a very big impact on the stock market, the crypto space, because right now the market is still weary of what's happening between the US and China. The fact that he mentioned a total reset, and that makes everybody think, because that's what we're all expecting as XRP holders, the reset to happen. 36.6 million XRP on the move. Whales definitely know what is coming. There's always a lot of XRP on the move. And, you know, right away people say, well, they're selling off. These whales are not selling off. They're positioning themselves. They're not like retail. They're not like us. You know, they wait for specific things to happen. And if this is institutions buying XRP, they're buying ahead of the competition so that they're better positioned as the market, the network starts building out. They want to be early adopters of XRP. That's the best way to put it. But institutions are not going to be selling the way retail sells. In other words, the price hits $10. A lot of retail investors, I'm selling my entire bag. Institutions are like, we're going to utilize this asset to send money from the United States to the UK, to the EU, and so on. And that's what's gonna lead to scarcity, those liquidity pools of locked up XRP. But like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm recording this video early, and it's gonna go live at midnight tonight. I'm waiting to see where the market is by midnight tonight, because usually on Sundays you get the pullback, then all of a sudden the market starts to turn around going into Monday. The one thing about XRP is if you're going to see most of the pumps happen throughout the night. And that's why I said a lot of people are in for sleepless nights ahead, especially when we finally go into alt season. But I'm still expecting that utility run this time around as well. And this week is already looking like it's shaping up to be a decent week for crypto. Let's hope the momentum continues. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.